Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast. So Derek State. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play the game. Tom is the defending champion. Can he make it 2 weeks in a row? Shall see. So Kenny Omega is gonna be a free agent. And he's not closed the door on a potential WWE run. Can't wait to hear the boys' thoughts on that one. Also, the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards have been announced. And as per usual, we cannot wait to shit all over just everything that's a Meltzer Marks had to say. And we'll see where else this whole shindig goes.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
We the ones.
What's up, dude?
We the twos. Not much, hanging
No,
out.
we the ones. Derek's
We
the twos.
Derek's the twos. Yeah. No, not much. Here to defend my title.
Okay. Well, let's see if I can't squeeze you a little bit here, and I'll do the obligatory. Excuse me, sir. We kind of have a thing. ... Text message sent. I'm going to say it's 8:34 on my clock. That's going to say 8:58.
Ooh, I'm gonna go under. Under. That's a tall order. You're making this. I mean, I don't know. Derek could surprise us. But yeah. It's I'm gonna go under.
Alrighty then. So we're gonna go under, and yeah. So, how you doing, bub? You good?
I'm okay. Watching Raw. Damien's watching Raw too, I think, or he was. He might have switched off now. And Evie's doing her thing. Got them home from Winter Rec.
Nice.
They're chilling relaxing. I told them, I'm like, guys, we got to start winding down. I'll get you your snacks. No more of this running around at 10:30.
Yeah.
Like that's we got school tomorrow. And they're like,
it's really
okay. So they have themselves some stacks of goldfish and Cheez-Its and all that other stuff. So
hey, so while we wait, I do want to touch on this, right? Jeff Hardy's DUI case has officially been closed.
It has.
So interesting, right?
That happened did that happen? That happened like the morning after we did our podcast last week, didn't it?
Yes.
It happened at like 8 a.m.
It did. Yes, it did. It did. So according to Fightful, Jeff Hardy's DUI case has been officially closed, as revealed by the latest documents from the Volusia County Clerk of Circuit Court records. The development comes 2 days after Jeff's attorney filed a motion to exclude certain evidence from the trial with the description of unreliable breath test results. So apparently they are challenging the validity of Jeff Hardy's breathalyzer results, which has been enough to settle the case or close the case or whatever the case may be. Hey, Tom, I just got a working question. Did the prosecutors not see the video?
I mean, he was certainly
a blind man with a seeing eye dog. A blind man with a seeing eye dog could have seen that Jeff Hardy was fucking hammered.
I mean, he probably smelled like cinnamon. So, I mean, yes, that did happen and they did settle it. He got some days in jail that he got where time already served, and they suspended his license for 10 years, which is a long time to not be able to drive a car. I don't go like
Says
10
Jay
days
Uso or
without.
Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything like to be fair, or because I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but this is pretty common, especially for people with like this. Also cost him money, but he has money, right? So
Right.
that's not a problem. So if you have money and and you drink and drive and you don't kill anybody, generally you get off a lot easier, and you're allowed to go back to your life in pretty rapid succession. I would say. Um, so that seems to be what's happened here. Matt Hardy says that Jeff's healthier than he's seen him in years, which I would hope so, because Jeff's been hammered for years. So I would hope that he's looking better. Because he's been not hammered for a while. I can't imagine what Jeff Hardy's like liver enzyme readings and stuff. Like what could that be?
Oof.
After abusing pills and
Oof.
booze and all that, because like I know me that like mine elevated a little bit just during the pandemic, because it was like a few like 4 or 5 drinks plus a night sometimes, and it was like but I wasn't like down in a bottle of like Fireball and trying to drive a car to a meet and greet or anything like that. Like I was just having a
He
few
was
beers.
going to a brain scan, pal.
Right, a brain scan. Yeah, had
I
to.
gotta go to the brain doctor every year.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I can't say. I could only imagine what those readings look like. Because
Bing,
there's
bing,
something.
bing, 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 bing,
Yeah,
bing, bing,
yeah,
bing, bing,
no, I
bing,
mean,
bing,
it
bing.
was probably. I mean, they were probably like 5 times what the normal limit is, and they were like, your liver's. They would probably be like a level of like your liver might fail. Like his
Yeah,
Jeff,
maybe.
maybe that's why he was painting his face at the end in WWE. There, he was a little bit jaundiced, and he didn't want that to come
Oh,
across on camera.
that's too far, pal.
Maybe a little bit, but so, but no, I mean, I'm glad his license is suspended. I think
Yeah,
that's
but he's gonna get behind the wheel of a car anyways. What the hell does
yeah.
he
But
care?
you drive with a suspended license, though, man. I mean, they really they come down. He'll just pay it off again. And I mean, really, you're right. And it's one of those things where it's like I'm glad to see that Jeff is allegedly healthy, and because I don't want anything bad to happen to this guy. I mean, he's a childhood hero of ours, of mine. I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but at the same time, it's like, good God, how many chances do you need? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, like
So
this is not like, and this isn't even an isolated incident of the year. Like, remember when he walked out of WWE and they were like, "We need to get you drug tested and get you into rehab," and he was like, "Nope, out." And then like 3 months later, this happened. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. So this begs the question. Okay, what does this mean for a Jeff Hardy AEW return?
Oh, he's coming back, 100%. I wouldn't. I mean, whenever all the court stuff finally, all the dust settles, if the dust has already settled, I'd be, that he won't be on Wednesday, because they're going to want to pop a rating to bring him back, so they're going to announce when he's coming back. But I would imagine he'll be back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I I mean, I just think that really needs to be a thing. If we're out here and we're talking about brain, I don't know why that got clicked. If we're we're down in a fifth of fire to the brain doctor, okay, because we spent our entire lives jumping off of shit and our head on concrete floors. Do we really, at this point in time in our life, need to return to wrestling ring?
Well, I mean, he does have court legal fees to pay now. So there's that. He's got them legal fees to pay, so he should. I would imagine he's going to want to come back. Now, should he return to an on-screen thing? I think there's two questions to be asked here. Should he return to on-screen? I think that yes. I think that Jeff Hardy on wrestling TV is good for wrestling TV. If I'm being honest. Now, should Jeff Hardy be jumping off of things? No. He should be doing.
But he's going to.
I know he's going to. We know he's going to. Somebody needs to tell him not to. Like, he wasn't, like, they stopped him from doing that crap in WWE for, like, his last little run in WWE till he walked out.
Well,
like, they were doing a good job. They weren't
Vince
throwing him
McMahon isn't the Booker of the Year, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, we sure will. I mean, I just think that, I would hope, and, we can come back to this later when we see what happens. I would hope that Tony Khan has learned a lesson, particularly when it comes to Jeff Hardy. No, I agree. He probably hasn't, but I would hope that he has learned a lesson and that maybe, just maybe, they'll have their little Hardy Boys run, but it won't be like tables, ladders, and chairs. Like, they can come out and he could jump off the top rope into the middle of the ring. That's fine. You want to do that stuff? That's okay. Keep the ladders out of it. Keep the tables out of it. Let John Moxley do the bleeding. Don't.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Even Bully Ray thinks that John Moxley bleeds too much. I mean,
it's every week. It's every single week. Like, I mean, he bleeds with. He bled with Hangman. He bleeds with he bled with Evil Uno last week. Everybody, it's every week.
What he does, he bleeds, bud. He bleeds
every week.
I mean,
it's like it's such a like. Oh, I wonder how long into them. It's not even a like.
It's his gimmick, pal.
He does it so often that it's not like there's nothing special about it. It would be special if he didn't bleed at this point. Am I right? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's probably fair.
I mean, he should just come in and like beat. Good.
Maybe he's doing it. Maybe he's doing it just to piss you off. You know what I mean?
Like, he's watching. That's what he's doing. He's watching our podcast every week, and I'm like, good God. Every time Dudley Boys versus Hardy Boys. Nah, that's not going to happen, Pat, because Devon's retired. He will not be coming back. There's a zero.
Well, who knows though
chance.
now, because I mean he left WWE, and there was the rumor that they might go a little reunion tour / retirement tour. I mean, Bully Ray's still kind of doing this thing. By the way, friend of the show, Pat Martin, says, hey, I'm going to go to Hogan's Beach Shop or surf shop, whatever he says. Should I bring you guys back both the sign belt? Hey, Pat, don't do that. Okay. Because they're like cheap Arabian knockoffs. Okay. That are worth like $12, and they mark them up to like $6,000 because Hogan's signature's on it. Just make sure you take lots of pictures and tell me how cool it was. Okay.
Yeah,
make sure while you're down there, make sure you find Jimmy Hart's cold cans on the beach. Is that still a thing? I don't know. Derek's not here. He would know. That's like his favorite thing to talk about every single week. So, man, you know what else I want to talk about with Derek? The AEW video game too. Like, where is full at?
That's, I mean, I do want to talk about that, but gameplay wise on that, if the gameplay on that is fun, that'll be a cool game. However, the gameplay is not good, which is, and it went overboard with, it went really overboard with the budget. So it's entirely possible that when it comes out, it will be filled with season passes and microtransactions. Like, oh, buy this skin, buy this outfit, buy this character, buy this, buy this, that. And it'll just be like, you'll buy a $60 game and it'll have a roster of 10 wrestlers on it, but you'll be able to buy 30 more for $9.99 a piece. And so I'm very concerned that that's what's going to happen.
I mean, it very well might. I mean, we continue to circle back and talk about this, right? And it's clear to me from the outside looking in as a very, very sub-casual video game guy, right? It's like this thing looks bad. I mean,
So the visuals they look very PS3.
yeah,
I'm
and like
not
that's what they were going for, right? Like they wanted it to have like a retro feel. I get
Yeah,
all
that
that,
like
but it's like
SmackDown Bring the Pain type of like bubbly cartoony
pain these
action
nuts. You
figure
know what I'm
looking
saying?
guys. I mean,
Fucking
it's not my favorite. But you know what? I wouldn't play it to like I've got games that'll push the next gen systems to, yeah, I'll play my Gran Turismos and my Forzas and my Horizon Zero, or what is it, Horizon Forbidden West and God of War. I played all that stuff. So, it's at this point, it's like I don't necessarily always need tippity top of the line graphics, especially as an older guy who does that type of stuff. But, you know, I, I don't know how graphics are one of those things that cost a lot of money, and if you don't spend the money on that, and then you litter the thing with microtransactions, it's like, what are we doing here? You know, like,
well,
so
I'll tell
I'm
you what
very
they're doing.
concerned that they're going to do that.
They bet the entire house on the success of this video game and went into the red in their first fiscal calendar to fund said video game, and it's now been pushed back twice, and now everybody's worried that it's going to have your microtransactions. And this was teased to be a Game Pass release, and like I don't got a good feeling about it, bub.
I mean, I don't either. It's I don't think it's going to come out and and go to a subscription service right away. But I think that if it comes out and it flops, I think this becomes a massive, massive problem for AEW. Like just a massive financial problem, because they're going to look to recuperate whatever returns. And I don't know what they spent on this game, but to put things into perspective, I mean, they've spent, recent games have come out where they've spent $100 million. Like Callisto Protocol came out, they spent $100 million on Callisto Protocol, and they were like, they to break even, to make all their money back plus a little more, they needed to sell 5 million copies. It sold like 2, barely. Barely 2. So there's been a lot of games that have come out that have had gone way over budget, that have come out and be like, oh, it'll be okay because we're going to sell 10-15 million copies, and then they flop real hard and they don't sell anything like that. And I think it's going to be hard for a startup, particularly for like the first game, to really sell well. And then and particularly if it's got all those like always online microtransactions, yada, all that stuff, that's going to turn gamers off immediately. Even if you love wrestling games, like that's going to turn everybody who's not like the biggest everybody but Derek. That's going to turn everybody off but Derek.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, you already know Derek's already got like 4 or 5 copies pre-ordered. Like it's just a matter of time until he's got the super secret Tony Khan white powder edition that's triple sealed inside of a
the
you know what
Snowman
I'm saying?
edition.
Like, yeah, the Snowman edition.
So I mean,
But
you're right, and it's well, and you got to think about it this way too. Dynamite pulls about 1 million people a week, right? Like that's that's kind of like we joke about like, oh, what, no million, but it's like they're between 800K and 1 million people every week. If every
right.
single one of those people buys this video game, that's only 1 million copies sold, and that's gonna be seen as a failure for
Yes.
this game. You know what I mean?
I
Like that's
mean,
gonna
I would have to feel again from the outside looking in, if they only sell 1 million copies, that it's going to be, a failure, right?
Yeah, like that's like they're going to need to sell between 2 and 5 million copies. Maybe not immediately, but like that, throughout the course of 3-4 months after this game comes out, especially after patches. Maybe it'll go on sale for like $50 or something at some point. Black Friday sales and stuff. By the end of whatever, their first like swing of this, they're gonna want to be like, oh yeah, we sold 5 million copies between whenever if it comes out this year and doesn't get pushed back again, between whenever this comes out and like Christmas time, they're gonna want to say, oh, we sold 5 million copies or something. But I think they're gonna have a hard. That's gonna be a hard sell, and I don't think they're gonna make that. I'm not sure what the WWE games sell, but they're kind of just reskinned roster updates every year. I mean, they spend more money occasionally to like update it. Like I know 2K22 like cost more money than 2K21 or 2K21 didn't exist, and then 2K20. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
so,
but didn't 2K21 or 2K22, whatever fuck it was, right? Like
2K20
that was a complete
flopped.
that was a complete rebuild because Ukes left in 2020. So like 22 or 21, whatever it was, 22 was
22 was a rebuild. You're right.
Was a rebuild. So of course it's going to cost a little bit more than anything like that. So I don't know.
Now they've got a base that they're gonna recycle on year after year. And these games, the WWE games, the annual ones don't cost, especially because WWE is paying for the game. They already own the license. They don't have to they only have to pay the devs, right? They don't have to pay for the license, pay for anything. The devs put it out and then they release it. They own the license. So for that aspect of it, it prints money for WWE because it sells 3-4 million copies every year, like almost without fail, unless it fails miserably and is just like, oh, it's a flop. But like the last one sold, I want to say 3-4 million copies, which is not like an insane amount. It's not like they're not Madden numbers, but for something that they're just going to build off of year after year after year, I mean, it just prints money after this.
Yeah. So just to keep everybody in the loop, we are at 8:53 p.m. and we are currently 6 minutes now. It just ticked over to 54. So we are 5 minutes from Tom's under bet on today's.
I really thought he'd have been here.
Ding dong, where's Derek? I just actually texted him again. So there's that. Speaking of Derek, friend of the show. No, he has not. Friend of the show, Pat Martin, wants to know if it'll load because my internet is just dog shit today because it is just rainy and shitty. Will Derek be number one at AEW WWE? Hey, he is number one in all of wrestling space. I mean, he's games that are like Taiwanese specific wrestling games that like it's very but yeah, I assume that within a week he'll tick right up that little ladder there.
I very much imagine Derek is going to be the top ranked AEW gamer in whatever their ranking system is. He's going to have all those achievements pretty fast. He'll be getting through he's got a PS5 too. He may be doubling it up. He may be trying to 100% it on two consoles. So he may be PS5 and Xbox Series X. So it could very well happen. Oh man, Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. Talk about matchups I didn't know I wanted to see.
He's hilarious. You want to talk about hilarious? He just texted me, and it's a screenshot of him achieving a lifetime achievement. So, as we speak, he's defending his crown. So there's that. Pat. Also, he wants to know. Pat asks, can you guys go live with him playing the game so we can see his greatness on the game? Actually, Pat, funny story about that. Derek has purchased all of the tools necessary to do just that. But so here's the thing. He's had said tools to do all that since April of 2022 when 2K22 came out. Tom, you're muted. Still muted. Well, while Tom tries to figure this out, I mean, if the AEW video game doesn't live up to the expectations that have been set for it, I have to believe that this is
There
going
we
to be a
go.
monumental failure. There we go. I was just getting
Switch
ready to say that
microphones.
if it doesn't live up to its expectations, it's going to be a monumental failure. And I don't necessarily know that that's going to do the old accountants at AEW any favors.
They're not going to be. Look, I want it to be good because, and I want it to be like real arcadey and like very no mercy. Here comes the pain type of, because I love those games. Those were great. I haven't played 2K23, but I don't really like the simulation games as far as the newer WWE games are concerned. I much prefer the more arcadey ones. Is even if there's not as much to them, it's just that was more fun to
like
me.
I actually and I know that everybody, like, every time I bring it up I get shit all over, but I actually enjoyed the Battlegrounds game because I'm more of a button masher than I am somebody that sits down and learns the intricacies of the controls. So like if this AEW game is that more button mashy, I'm probably going to enjoy the fuck out of it.
I think I lost.
We're one tick away, so I mean, he could come through for you in the fourth quarter.
Nah,
here, pal.
I doubt it. I'm gonna kick out at the last. Gotta kick out at the last second. But now, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm optimistic. Like I said, I think it's it's clearly gonna be an ugly game, but I'm hoping that it like controls well and all of that's fine. Like I don't care if it's ugly or even if like their hair is clipping through the bodies or like that doesn't bother me so much. That will bother people and that will hurt the game if it's like that. But
it's gonna bother the fuck out of Derek.
Yeah, oh for sure. It's definitely gonna bother Derek. But it's not gonna bother me. It'll just be what it is. And it'll bother Derek, but he's still gonna own 5 copies of it. So it's not it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if it bothers Derek. It'll matter if it bothers like the regular gaming consumer, right?
Yes, the average consumer. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just feel like a lot is riding on them for just this kind of subpar on the surface release. I just don't.
I think the problem with it, particularly, had it come out quickly, it wouldn't have been a problem. But I think the continual delays now, like since it's been announced, we're going to end up with WWE Battlegrounds and 2 annual WWE releases. So there will have been 3 WWE games released in the span of like the one development cycle. Now I know that's not fair necessarily, but I can't like that the world's not fair, right? So it's going to be it's going to be one of those things where it's like if it's been delayed so many times and it comes out and it's a mess for some reason, that's just going to be a huge like thing. Okay, good, he's here now. He can like say, "Oh, he's not here." Just oh, there he is.
There he is. So just
Hey, I was there when he got that hat.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can't hear us? You can hear us? There we go.
Dude. Fucking space cadet.
Anyway, Derek, you there? Oh, he's there. He's giving us the thumbs up. He's just not talking.
No, we can't hear you, bub. Maybe you should hit the unmute button on your microphone there. Did you try that? And now you can't even fucking hear me. He just looks defeated. Like, look, he's just
Who's he
disheveled.
talking to?
I don't know who
Can't
he's
hear
talking to.
you.
He's talking to us,
Can't
but
hear
we
you.
can't hear him.
He can hear us, but we
Oh.
can't hear you. Yes. Okay. He's trying to fix it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. How many wrestlers would be on the game that the stars that people want to play with? I think people are going to want to play CM Punk.
CM Punk.
I think
CM Punk. April, grab me my gaming device, please.
I need to play as myself in Fight Forever.
For thine am on cover, because I am the savior of all of professional wrestling.
April.
Oh shit. Fucking CM Punk. Yeah, CM Punk's definitely gonna be on there, BP. I mean, I gotta feel like Kenny Omega's definitely there. I've seen Darby Allin is on it.
Cody's in it.
Cody's in it. Is Dustin in it?
I think Dustin's in it.
See, there we go. We'll let Cody and Dustin be on,
but not FTR, because that's
yeah. Even though we did voice recordings for FTR.
Yeah. Not FTR.
They're not the best tag team, and the history.
Well, it's okay because the FTR is not going to be AEW wrestler. They're not going to work for AEW by the time this game comes out, because I don't believe that it comes out on March 31st.
I don't believe that either. I think that they're just continuing to put a number on it just to appease their shareholders, or in the game, developing the community and all that good stuff.
I just think Best Buy probably paid some money to like do to have like a pre-order go up or something. So that's all there is to it. But yeah, I don't expect it's the fact that FTR is not in the game of all if you could think of anybody that was like, the instrumental players, clearly we have the Elite, right? So they'll all be in there. Hangman will be there. I think Adam Cole's in the game, right?
Bebe.
I'll probably play some Adam Cole,
Bebe. So listen, hey, so when we were on our way down to Disney, right? I drove like a schmuck, and so I was listening.
2 kids?
Listen, it was fantastic, right? The way down was just
okay. Good for you, but that's
So, anyways, so I listened to a lot of podcasts, and
the goddamn Disney.
The entire time that Lindsay would be awake and somebody would say Adam Cole's name, I would say Bebe. And by the end of the trip, she still didn't know what I was talking about, and was so annoyed at the fact that I just kept randomly saying Bebe that it was a successful journey.
That is a successful journey.
Why is he sitting on the floor? Oh, no, I'm lying, folks. He's just standing up. He's not sitting in a chair, so that's what he looks like standing up.
He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy. Both feet are firmly on the floor.
He's doing some IT work right now. Good for him. Derek, why don't you leave this stuff plugged in, man?
Yeah, man. Doing some IT work. Good for him.
Yep.
First time this week that happened.
Oh, Cody beat Chad Gable. He's about to beat Chad Gable. Here it goes.
I love you, Derek. Are you now? Look, Pat said I don't think he's wearing pants.
Pants.
He's wearing
like
pants.
The pants.
He's wearing pants.
Like, what are you doing with your life, bud? Are you going to join this podcast, or are you just going to put your "Let's Go Pens" belly right in the middle of the screen? Because, like, Tom and I have talked.
This? Okay, hey, can you fucking hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, so did you see the screenshot I sent you, Walter? Maybe I sent it to the group. I don't know.
Yeah, you sent it to me, and I already discussed it.
I was busy.
I put you over.
Busy.
So
I was busy.
What exactly? Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yes. I got it on the
what
Xbox
exactly
One
was that?
and the Xbox Series X version. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
What do you mean the Xbox One
Thank
and
you.
Series X? You mean the PS5 and Xbox version? Because there's only going to be one Xbox version.
See, sir, that's where you're wrong. See, the Xbox One, say the old school version, if you want to call it that at this point, has one separate achievement list. The Xbox One Series S/X version also has a separate achievement list. So what I do is I gain the achievement on one system. I then load up the more modern system, complete one match, boom, achievement unlocked again. That's for all the online. I finally finished the online. That was like over a year of working on this bastard.
So
I could have made this very easy on myself and done it within the first 1.5 to 2 months before all the glitches were fixed, and it would have taken no time at all. Instead, I had to do over 400 matches in one type, did probably 150 matches in another type. Yeah, it was. But tonight was a good day. Tonight, I've been building up to this for a minute.
Hey,
just in time to do it all again twice.
It just so happened that I don't have to do it all again. I did it twice right there.
So friend of the show, Pat Martin,
coming out.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin, asked a question while you were not here, and I'm gonna put it on screen right now, and it says, "Can you guys go live with him playing the game so that we can see his greatness?" To which I politely explained to Pat that you have all of the equipment to do said live stream.
I'm even reaching under my desk for the adapter so I can hold it up, but I can't find it.
So
yeah, I'm just a piece of shit.
I mean,
I've never done this before. I don't know how it works. I don't know. I got nothing. I'll figure it out.
That's good. But you just missed a healthy discussion about the AEW video game and what a piece of cinematic art that it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a trash festival.
So
I'm going to complete it. I am. I'm not going to sit here and defend it, though. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't know how you go from.
That's exactly how you thought he was going to feel, huh, Tom?
Yeah. We have no release date to all of a sudden I see on Best Buy it's an April or late March release date, which is 1 or 2 weeks after WWE 2023, which obviously we know is an established brand that has been around for since the fucking generation of time.
We played it on
Ukes is not a reliable developer for us to just sit here and say, "Oh yeah, Ukes is just gonna right out of the ballpark." Yeah, no.
That's what we're saying. It could be if it comes out and it flops, we're at AEW.
Yeah, I think we're pretty fucked, to be honest with you. I'm gonna play it, but I'm not gonna put it over.
Derek's way less enthusiastic about it than I was. All right, we've been talking about this far too long. Let's move on.
No, for sure. But Derek literally just gave the entire recap of our conversation in just his little Derekisms. So I'm glad that we're all on the same page with the AEW video game. Hey, so really interesting little tidbit of news that I thought I saw this week was that Kenny Omega's contract is allegedly up around April. And
no.
And he is open to the potential of a WWE run. I'm interested to get Derek's thoughts on this. As a Kenny Omega mark and see, what the feeling is on the AEW side of the coin, bud.
Okay, yeah. So since I'm fresh, I'll go ahead and jump in on this before Tom here, before he just lights me up like the bitch that I am. So first off, the contract was extended due to injury time until November, is the word on the street.
I saw that too. So I'm not,
and so that's fine. Just a slight correction there. Nothing to worry about, Walter. But
that's a rumor. That's not.
Other than that, Tom, he said he would be interested in going over there. And to be honest, fellas, he already saw one EVP go over there. Yeah. We've seen one.
Yeah. And he's going to main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
and he is going to main event WrestleMania, but I don't
He's
feel
probably
like Kenny Omega
beat
is
Roma.
going to get the exact same respect that someone such as Cody Rhodes, who they've already had a history with, already have, of course, his father's legacy in their video, archives.
Library.
Exactly. It's not going to be the same. I don't see him coming out and being this automatic WrestleMania main event star. I think he's going to come out and have to do some work. And to be honest, fellas, as much as I love AEW, I don't see Kenny Glad Hands Omega coming out with a big, push. He might get a big crowd overism right off the bat, but is he going to get a push from the man, from the Vince McMahon, who we all know is behind everything
So
until the day this man dies? Like, it could be Saudi. I don't give a fuck if Mon Power owns it. Vince McMahon is booking for these motherfuckers.
So anyway, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that Kenny will go. I don't think Tony will let him go. I think Tony will throw an ungodly amount of money at him, and I think that's a mistake, but I think that'll happen. I don't think Kenny will go anywhere. 2, if Kenny goes to WWE, I don't see him doing well on the main roster right away.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did when AJ Styles came over, not to put them on the same page or anything, but when AJ Styles came to WWE, did AJ Styles spend some time in NXT?
No
time at all. Not even a hot minute.
Nope. Not even a set. The only time that AJ Styles has had at NXT was whenever he had his match with Grayson Waller, which was like a 2-week build-up.
Yeah, so that was like last year.
That was a favor to Grayson Waller. That was not really.
Yeah, so that was like last year. And Kenny's been out, or not Kenny. He's been out hurt since whatever. But I don't know. I think that, they won't do this because he'll be a top like free agent signing. They'll put him right on like Raw or SmackDown right away if they do get him. Honestly, I think that he would do better, and he would do better for NXT. I think you would see NXT get a ratings bump. And I think that would probably be a place better suited for Kenny to do his thing in NXT, particularly against those guys in NXT, because they're all, that's really a lot of work rate stuff. And,
sure,
that's I think where if Kenny was on the main roster, I think that's where he'd do his best work. Now, as far as moving him to. So as far as them moving him to the main roster, if they get him, and they might just do it just to deprive AEW of him, I think that, he'll get an initial pop and they'll probably let him wrestle like Chad Gable or something like that, where they could have and maybe he'll even have a little feud with Seth Rollins, because that seems to be the thing, that they, when they want to try to get somebody over, they're like, put him with Rollins, pal.
Yeah.
So
absolutely put him.
I mean, that could certainly be a thing.
I don't even. Are you complaining about that?
No, I wouldn't. Actually, that if there's anything that I would want to see is, I'm curious as to how that feud would go, because I just want to see what Rollins does with it, right? Like I know what Kenny would do, because Kenny's just going to do the same thing he does with everything. I bid you adieu. That shit. But I want to see what Rollins would do with it. So he could do that, and then I wouldn't hate to see him feud with Balor and the Judgment Day. That could be cool too. Now he can't win both of those feuds. Maybe he can win none of them. So I don't know. Maybe he's got to beat Baron Corbin up first. That could be something. But it's I don't foresee it being the same level of like a Cody Rhodes, where it's like, oh man, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. He's going to win. That's just, it's not going to be the same level of success. And truthfully, I mean, it may end up that he doesn't really even have much success. They may just bounce him around. It may end up being like a Shinsuke Nakamura kind of thing. And maybe even less so than that. But
To be honest, Tom, that right there is exactly what I was thinking. I don't see that he is going to have the talent, nor are they going to want to pay him the amount of money to go to NXT. He could handle NXT. That would be his particular role as far as work rate and all that. Of course, that was dead on.
And I think it would pop. I think it would pop a rating, at least initially. I mean, I don't know
absolutely,
it would pop initially, it would certainly pop a rating.
Sure. The amount of money they're going to have to pay for him to actually come to that program, though.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be worth the to put him just on NXT. Like, it wouldn't be worth whatever you got to pay Kenny Omega to just throw him on NXT on Tuesday. Like, yeah, okay, it'll bump your show that gets 600,000 or 700,000 views up to closer to 1 million a few times, especially if you hype it up a little bit. But at the same time, it's not gonna it's not gonna stand there, right? That's not gonna be the like he won't.
No, I mean, we saw it with CM Punk. I mean, he hit 1 million, 1.5 million multiple times in a row, and then it doesn't stand there. You know, it's old news 4 weeks ago, and now we have a rickety old door and a raggedy ass dog. And hit me up with it, Walt. April.
No, these Maximum Male Models segments make me laugh so hard every time. Mustang just put his leg up on the door, like next to his head.
So I was loading it up, and then I second guessed myself because I just hit us with the April right before you came on, and I wasn't sure if it was appropriate to go twice, and then you called me on it. And kind of lost my composure.
I have to say, anytime a rickety door is in the scenario, it should probably just be a given.
April, grab my cellular device and ring up Kenneth, please.
I could just imagine the rickety door that they kicked in.
Kenneth, that's I understand that the prince bit your arm. But please go to WWE so that I can return to the wrestling ring.
Oh yeah, it could be that too. If he leaves, then maybe Punk could come back.
He's coming back to AEW, buddy.
I think so too. But
he's starting to troll people on the internet. It's just a matter of time. I bet you we might. I'm willing to bet we might even see him as soon as Revolution.
Maybe he's coming.
Hey, so Tom, you're playing with a yo-yo. Does that mean that you're getting back on track on the other side of the coin here?
Yeah, I gotta do.
I saw your little teaser post the other day.
Yeah, I still have to review this. This is done.
Is it that one?
It is. This is the Callisto. This is my buddies actually. Good Life Yo-Yos. They did this. Good Life Yo-Yos. Good people. When we have a pre-pandemic, when we would hold contests in Pittsburgh, when I was still involved in doing that, they always came and supported and sponsored and participated, and they would bring their whole team, and so I'm very excited to review a yo-yo of theirs because one, I like the yo-yo, and two, I like those guys a lot. They're really
all
cool.
Love.
It's all love. Exactly.
It's a lot of love.
It's all love.
There you go. I put them over.
Hey, if you're into yo-yos, bro, check out Tom over at Throws and Brews here on YouTube. He's like the quintessential guy for yo-yos.
Tom's a good guy. For as much as I give him shit, I love Tom.
If you like him here, you definitely like him over there. He's way cooler over there.
That's because I talk more.
There's a child.
Believe that.
Yeah, baby.
Our nightly appearance.
So as far as putting a bow on Kenny Omega going to WWE, I don't see it being a great run. I think it would be, because he probably, if he doesn't go to NXT first to have that Shinsuke Nakamura type NXT run, he's just gonna kind of get lost in the shuffle on the main roster pretty quickly. After they let him feud with Rollins, he'll get lost in the shuffle on the main roster pretty quickly, and he'll just be out there doing some kind of comedy routine, or maybe they'll stick him in the tag team or something with Rick Boogs, just to come full circle.
No, that'd be fun.
I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be fine. Look, I think that honestly, like, if you don't let Kenny Omega book himself, maybe like he'll be better. Right, like maybe because he's not that great to watch in AEW, but like maybe he'll be.
Because he's trying to be a character for the U.S. audience, I think, instead of just being what the AEW hardcores want him to be, and that's the best bout
Can
machine.
you just please be the best bout machine?
That's what I just kind of said
Please?
there. But
Yeah, like I don't understand why you want to be for the. I am the AEW marks. I want the best bout machine.
Doesn't everybody want the best bout machine? I feel like
That's
that
kind of
gets
what
over-
I'd like.
I feel
you
like
know?
that would get over in America too.
I feel like that was our
But I
expectation
took
whenever
those-
he came over, right?
Fuck
Was we
face.
were going to get that Kenny, and we just haven't.
we got this dancing fool.
We got the
Yes.
broom one time, the cleaner.
That
and
we
then
got the
I was
tea.
like,
We
all
got
right,
the
all right,
teas on the
all right.
cleaner, and that was
We're
it.
getting there. We're getting there.
But
Yeah,
You know, he's got some Asian ladies coming out to assist him with the cleaning. And then after that, it was what I said it as nicely as I could. What do you guys want from me? You tell me that I come across wrong all the time. That was the nicest, most politically correct.
It's
But I
funny.
could say this
it
scenario.
could have just been women. Like, why did they have to be Asian women?
They were. I was just explaining the scenario.
I mean, listen, just because you have a thing for Asian women, bud, you don't need to be forcing that
Don't
on
we
us.
all? I mean, do we not all? We're from America.
America.
America. Well, I'm gonna
America.
stop. No,
America.
no. I have a daughter. No.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
She just left.
Welcome back to reality, Bob.
So what's
Love you,
our next topic? Because Kenny, I think
Hey.
we're all in agreement that Kenny's not Kenny in WWE.
He's not the answer.
I mean, it'd be interesting for like a minute, but I think that by at 6 months in would be like, okay, this fucking
You know what
guy.
would be interesting if they replaced all the locker room doors in all the locker room areas.
All
with
right,
wood
moving
heat or
on.
wood
Listen,
doors.
so listen, I think I pissed some people off last week. I mean, we're getting some clicks on this butthurt Nikki Bella thing, but we lost some subscribers, bro.
well, no one knows who we are.
We're getting clicks, but we lost subscribers.
Yeah,
made
they
people
getting
mad.
clicks, lost them because I said something about Nikki Bella being mad. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
take
they
it.
were just watching us for that
I'll take the
cutting
clicks.
edge Nikki Bella content. And the
She's
second,
the curviest of the
the-
twins. She's not even the prettiest of the twins.
Bro, I will fight you until the end of
Don't they have
time.
the
if
same
you're just
face?
wrong.
am I wrong?
No.
they have
No.
the same face.
No.
No, I'm wrong.
Hey,
Mella's money. Apparently
No, she's
this
not.
week.
Shut the fuck up.
So
Tom.
apparently this
What?
week, Carmella said that Asuka has never pinned her in singles competition.
Good God.
Now I don't. That clearly is about to change tonight, but
what if it doesn't?
But it will.
That would be. It will, but
It
but that
won't.
would. But
Don't believe it.
It's live right now. How do
You're
you
just
Okay.
going against the green for the sake of it at this point. You're just
I'm
being
not.
stupid.
I'm
All
not.
right. All
They've
right.
got her on the PR tour about her women empowerment movement right
Her-
now.
yeah,
She's doing
her
every podcast.
existential
Listen, bud, I'm just
outside
saying.
pregnancy,
Hey, bud,
yeah.
listen, more power to her. All right. Like,
Great for her. You married
no,
Corey
I-
Graves.
you-
Shut the
you-
fuck
you're-
up.
Don't mistake me. I actually really like Carmella. I think looking back on it, I think her SmackDown Women's title run was underrated as hell
yes,
because
absolutely.
she did. I think she did a better. Her title
here
reign
he
was
goes.
better than a lot of Charlotte's title reigns were.
Mhm.
They were better than Ronda's last couple reigns were.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Whoa.
What
no.
about that reign of Jake
No.
Paul? That was
You're gonna
good.
tell me that you're gonna say Carmella's title reign was better than the man?
No, then it
And
was
better
better
Ronda
than,
Rousey.
no, it was better than Ronda's. Not
okay,
Becky.
okay.
Yeah,
I thought you
better
said
than
Becky.
Ronda. Yeah, Becky.
Whoo, boy.
Or, yeah, not Becky. Ronda.
Mm.
Ronda. My bad.
Ooh.
I
Yeah,
about just
Ronda.
laid out right there. If that had been the case, I'd have had the night off. This would have been easy.
No, yeah. No. It
I'll
was
go
better-
back to
better than
playing
Ronda's
wrestling.
last
You guys
run.
fight
It was
it
not
out.
better
It's
than it was
fine.
not better than Becky's run. Better than Ronda's run. I'm
So,
sorry.
I apologize for my uprising.
Your heart palpitations there. But no. So what are we talking about besides?
So
Noah?
you want to know what really just fucking grinds my gears?
No, we don't, Peter.
The Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards.
Oh my God, they're worse this year than they were last.
They're
It's worse this year. It's so much worse.
they're real bad, bro.
Yeah, boys.
So much. Like last year, we made fun of them because some of them were pretty silly. Okay, this year It's like the whole thing was like written by.
Oh, it was like I paid to play. That's what
Like,
this shit was. Pay to play.
what kind of firsthand smart mark bullshit is this?
Tony
Do you have
Khan
the
is
list
the
in
best
front of you? Because
promoter
I think we need to
of the
kind of
year.
touch on a few.
What are you talking about, man? I am absolutely the booker there. Don't you see it? You can see it in my eyes. You can see it in my eyes. I gotta book 3 shows right now. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm trying to get the ROH off the ground. I mean, we got Rampage. You gotta watch Rampage on Friday nights. Don't forget about Rampage.
Oh
Greatest
my
show on
God.
television. Come sit down, watch some Rampage. And then we got Dynamite on Wednesdays too. Don't forget, I got a special big announcement on Wednesday. Fucking huge, monumental. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wow.
Tony Candy, you're faster than your fucking webcam, bud.
Wow. That was really impressive, by the way. I really enjoyed that.
But listen, so
It's
like
terrible.
this shit's wild, right? So
Yeah.
obviously, let's start out with some that like I might actually be able to kind of get behind a little bit. Okay, they're kind of close. The Luthez Ric Flair Award, which is the Wrestler of the Year. They got John Moxley at number 1, Roman Reigns at number 2, and Will Ospreay at number 3. I think that the top 3 are there, right?
Wrong.
They're just not in the right order.
No. Well, and you got to remember these are for all of 2022, correct?
Yes.
So okay.
But still, I mean, this is 2022, but I mean, the body of work that Roman Reigns had in 2022 is
it's Roman's number
I
1.
mean,
there's
no way that
there
Roman's
should be
not
no
number 1.
question.
I mean,
Who's
Derek,
running
you have to
around
agree with that as well, right?
Absolutely, he's definitely number 1. I don't understand the Will Ospreay thing either.
Really?
I mean, I understand it.
I totally
I
understand it.
don't know that I love it, but truthfully, I think if I'm being honest, Mox can be on there. He literally saved the company.
Yeah.
He picked AEW.
That was early in the year, but yes.
But I mean, but he still did it, and it was still last year. So I'm fine with Mox being on the top 3 list. If I'm being honest, though, I think Seth Rollins belongs in top 3 more than Will Ospreay does.
I think he might have been in the top 5, but I only have the top 3s here on the list.
He was
I'm looking at.
He was in the top 10 for
so
sure.
I can't speak for that.
But
I
I'm
just have
saying
the top
it's not.
3s.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think.
But you can make the argument that Seth Rollins is in that top 3 every year.
And I can't agree with you.
There's no reason that he
disagree with
shouldn't
you
be.
guys. But while I don't disagree, I also think Jay White should be thrown into that mix for a top 3.
He did some good stuff this year.
He did a lot of good stuff, and now he's coming out of NJPW.
Not to the same level. I do think Jay White. Not to the same level that Rollins, and not to the same level as these other guys. Like Jay.
I'm sorry, he doesn't get seen every Monday and Friday. I'll make sure.
Right, and that's the thing. That's the exact thing.
The thing is, he signed with that company though over there in that time frame.
Right.
And over in the Japanese
now he can sign. Now he can sign with a real company and maybe get some eyeballs on him, because there was like 8 people that watched Jay White wrestle, and we're 3 of them. Okay.
So, moving on.
As long as time's off.
I'm sure that this discussion will have eventually come to a head by the time this topic is over. So I'm just gonna keep it moving. Okay, most outstanding wrestler. Number 3 was Okada. Number 2 was Bryan Danielson, and number 1 was Will Ospreay.
Okay.
I mean, outstanding. Like
anybody. Nobody?
Where are we at like with what the criteria is on outstanding? Like, are we talking an overall package, somebody that was head and tails above everybody else, or is this like just where are we at with this? This is muddy water to me.
To me, I agree, because it's like, I think what Dave means with this is outstanding, like just his favorite wrestlers for the year. And I know this is voted on by like a lot of people, but these are clearly just like the people that put on the matches that Dave Meltzer liked the most. And I don't want to shit on, because and I know we're doing the least controversial first. I don't want to shit on these guys because they're all good wrestlers in their own right, but they're not American style wrestlers, right? Like Will Ospreay particularly is very much New Japan. Like New Japan evolved around Will Ospreay, right? Like it became the Will Ospreay show, and it still is to an extent. So
there
that's
was a
what
reason
Dave
they
likes.
moved off all the European and North American champions, though.
Yeah, but I mean that's just the stuff Dave likes. So that's why that list exists the way that it does. But I don't. You know, it's clear it clearly should be. It's just a weird. It's just a weird It's a weird topic. But anyway,
Yeah. Moving on, tag team of the year coming in at number 3 of the greatest tag team in the history of AEW, the Young Bucks. Number 2, you have the Briscoes, and number 1, you have FTR.
That's fine. I mean, I don't know. Usos.
Yeah,
though,
I feel like the Usos deserve to be in that top 3.
Usos. I don't know.
Derek.
It's hard. It's really hard not to put Usos on. I don't know. I especially after weren't the Young Bucks hurt and suspended for a lot? Yeah, they were hurt and suspended a lot for 2022. It doesn't really make sense to me that they're on there.
And then they came back as a trio.
Yeah, it's it wasn't. They didn't really do a lot of tag team stuff. I mean, and truthfully, if you watched Wednesday, they did the stupidest tag team move I've ever seen in my entire life, where they picked a dude up, put him on his partner who was, I'll just hold on to him, and then they kicked so he tombstoned him. And I was like, this is that's a bad move. Like, you know, it was just real bad. It was one of those this is too much.
Was it bad because it was innovative? Is that why you didn't like it?
No, it was just too much.
Oh.
It was too innovative. Like, why are we controlling other people now with our kicks to the shins? It wasn't great. Anyway, but yeah, that's to your point. That's the thing, is that they didn't clearly FTR and the Briscoes, they had a phenomenal feud that lasted 4 months, and it was great. And you know, every one of those matches was must see. But you know, so those make sense. I think you put those two and the Usos, and you put them in whatever order you want. But that's the list. They didn't do that because obviously the Young Bucks are Dave's best friends, and they have to be in the top 3. So
yes, I agree. You have anything to add there, little buddy?
I think there's a lot of bullshit in this fucking particular category. For one, like you said, that you have the Young Bucks, that's his BFF butt buddy. That should not be in the top 3 considering the matches they had this year. FTR, if you want to give them that, that's fine. I think they can stay in the top 3, though I don't see them as a team that we're going to see in 2023. No, don't come back at me like that. It's gonna be fun. They were a wonderful team in 2022. They are not coming out for 2023 as far as what I've heard on the bald one with the mustaches.
FTR with Dax Harwood, his podcast, which is
I'm here for the comedic relief, not for the fucking names. All right. So
Derek is not here to tell you who's who. In fact, Walt sent him a picture. Did we tell this story yet? Walt sent him a picture, and Derek goes, "That's cool." And Walt says, "Yeah, it's right outside my resort." And Derek goes, "Oh, where are you?" Like, he had no fucking clue that Walt.
Yeah, we did tell the story. We told the story last week. No fucking clue.
No idea. Walt's at Disney.
That still blows my
asshole!
mind.
I've been telling you for months. Like, really?
It blows my mind. I don't understand how you didn't.
Guess how much I cared about Disney.
Anyway, what's the next category?
That's never good when you get a text message that says, "Hey, call me whenever you get a minute."
That's probably from me.
No, that was from work. Best on interviews. Number 3, CM Punk. Number 2, John Moxley, and number 1, MJF.
I mean,
I'm not going to argue with any of this.
How long did Punk go before he was? Because I mean, if we're talking about an entire,
it was the whole year.
Yeah, if we're talking about an entire year's worth of work, like how long?
Oh, who did you think did better? Fucking Wardlow?
No. So these are only AEW awards?
Yeah, like where's Roman Reigns at?
Where's Roman? Where's Paul Heyman? Where's literally anybody else who's received a microphone in 2022? John Moxley of all people.
It's the Meltzer Awards.
I don't know that John Moxley.
However you want to read between the lines there, Tom.
Like I don't want to like shit on John Moxley, but the guy gives the same promo every time that he cuts a promo, and it's never real specific. It doesn't really go anywhere. I mean, it's fine. It fits the character, but I wouldn't put him in like an elite level, like MJF level category. of that. Like, where's Roman? Like, there's plenty of guys ahead of that.
No.
It's just a matter of, again, these are
It's
clearly the AEW awards and not the WWE, not all of wrestling. They're just the AEW awards.
Yeah, it's
All right, Tom,
Meltzer-Mania.
well, I appreciate what you're saying. Let's just go ahead and add in everybody else. So I would say Roman as number 1, MGF is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you put as number 3? Because
I would
Cody is a good selection.
Cody is a good selection.
There's also Seth,
but Cody
as a
was
good
also
selection.
hurt a majority of 2022,
That's true.
which
That's true.
makes his body of work less.
So I would say
Right.
if CM Punk is because the Punk versus MJF, that feud happened in early 2022, right?
Yes.
I'm the devil.
Okay. So
That was a
I mean, if
wonderful feud.
CM Punk is eligible for this vote, I mean, I think he can be number 3, and I'm fine. With that. Only because of
Okay.
all the work they
Okay.
did, all that good work they did with the with the MJF feud.
My
And
vote's
then-
Chris Jericho.
I mean, Jericho would have been. I mean, he look. If you take Punk off of there, you put Jericho on there. I don't argue. I think Roman not being on here is really the real crime. But I digress.
Absolutely. It is.
No, that's not the real crime. The real crimes are what's about to fucking occur.
Well, yes.
Okay. So we've got promotion of the year. Okay. Number 3 is WWE. Number 2 is Stardom. And number 1 is AEW.
I haven't
Okay.
watched Stardom
Nope.
since I
Not
breathed
based
air.
not based on ticket sales, not based on dollars spent,
Not based on real life.
not based on real life, not based
Okay.
on viewership, not based on
Yeah,
week to
Phyllis,
week.
this is definitely not something that
Like-
we're ever going to agree with
like
Meltzer
what's the criteria for this? Like, how is
Right.
there's
Well-
not that's
Well, it gets better, boys. All right. Best
going.
weekly television show. Number
Uh-huh.
3, AEW Rampage. Number 2, WWE SmackDown. And number 1, AEW Dynamite.
I have
Every
a question. Question.
Go
Can
ahead.
I? Okay. So, at what point did Rampage win a Rampage on a pole match for the number 3 best promotion of the year?
Weekly television show, pal.
Whatever
I
it
mean,
takes.
Every
Jesus
Raw,
Christ.
every Raw was better than Ramp. Every half hour, every
Me
hour of
shitting
Raw,
in the toilet for an hour on Facebook
every
is
every
better
hour
than me
of
spending
Raw
an
is
hour
better than
watching
every
Rampage.
episode of Rampage,
And I love AEW. You
almost exclusively.
can't fucking defend this shit. It makes no sense.
Bro,
I mean-
NWA Power is better than Rampage.
And
I
I can
mean,
also find that on YouTube, which is wonderful because I can take a shit and watch that.
NWA Power has been like I would argue that there's probably more hours of quality NWA Power. on
There's
YouTube.
more hours of power.
There's more
Power.
hours of NWA Power that are good than there are hours of Rampage that are good. I think that you can make that argument.
You want to sell me on Rampage? Say Abaddon's coming out. I'll watch her entrance and then call it
Gonna watch
good
the
and
zombie
peace
chick.
out.
He's gonna
Yeah,
watch the
I'll
zombie
watch that
shit.
entrance.
That's
And then I'm
how
out
you
the
get.
door.
That's how you pop a Derek rating. Bring back
So,
Abaddon.
Let's get into
Bring
some of
them
these
alt
B
girls,
some of
baby.
these B levels, okay? The worst television announcer. Jim Ross coming in at number 3, Booker T
That's
at number
fucking
2,
bullshit. I
and
saw
Corey
that.
Graves at number 1. Like, what are we talking about here?
Graves is great.
Graves is
Like, I don't
wonderful.
get it. Like, Graves is like, how do we not?
And then you got the flip side.
Graves doesn't give him insider information. That's the
that
problem,
mu-
Tom.
Graves tells him to fuck off when he.
Yeah.
calls
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
then-
That's what that is.
Best television announcer. Number 3, Ian Riccoboni. Number 2 is Excalibur this year, and number 1 is
Oh, boy.
Kevin Kelly.
Who the fuck is Kevin
Kevin
Kelly and
Kelly?
Ian Riccoboni?
Kevin Kelly worked for WWE back. He was The Rock used to call him a hermaphrodite every week.
Yes.
Oh, back
You
whenever
remember?
he used to work for him back in '98. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Kevin. What is Kevin Kelly even on?
What is he on?
Is he on Power?
I wanna say he's on
GCW
no,
on
he's
Channel
on-
3 at about 4
MLW?
a.m.
Maybe he's on MLW.
But
Yeah,
still, I mean,
that's what I want to hear. Thanks.
but
Thanks, Dave.
I mean,
Thanks,
how do you
Dave.
not put Pat McAfee on that list? I mean, I'm
Wait.
not saying that you have to think that Michael Cole's the greatest ever, but like, why do you not put Pat on that
But
list? I mean, I
Michael
guess Pat was
Cole
on for a long time.
is at a whole nother level, and I really do think, and I sent this meme to you guys weeks ago, but I really do think we're gonna really miss Michael Cole whenever it comes time.
Yeah, I agree. He's cringy, but I agree. Moving on, this one I thought was really interesting. Most underrated. This I actually agree with the entirety of this top three. Number 3 is Ricochet.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Chad Gable, and number 1 is what's it? Takeshita.
Yeah.
Take a shitta?
Yeah, take a shitta. Takeshita.
Yeah, Takeshita. Huh?
Yeah, take a shitta.
I don't know that Takeshita's underrated.
Take a shitta.
But I would say that Ricochet and Chad Gable for sure.
Yeah.
Are. I don't know that Takeshita is, but yeah, Ricochet and Chad Gable for sure. And are these only men who are eligible for this? Because literally they haven't given a top 3 to a single.
Who would you like to promote, Tom? Sky Blue, perchance?
There you go. I got one for you. Most overrated. Number
Leave
3,
a
Roman
bait?
Reigns.
Oh,
Number
geez.
2, Tyrus, and number 1, Ronda Rousey.
How the
So
fuck
there's your
did
winner.
Tyrus get in this list?
Because he's overrated. No, I
Who
agree.
overrated him? It wasn't us.
He's
himself?
he's the
Yeah.
NWA champ, and he shows
Oh,
up on
Fox
Fox
News?
News all the time.
Oh yeah, well, as long as Fox News says he's the champ.
Yeah, no. So he's
'Cause
overrated.
they watch wrestling.
I agree. He's definitely overrated. Roman, I don't know why Roman's on that list, but okay. I would say that Kenny Omega's generally overrated. His entire AEW run's been overrated, but that's
You
that's
can't say that on live television.
I just did.
I don't even like Tom this much.
All right,
Just
let's
did.
see here. Oh, here we go. Feud of the year: Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, CM Punk versus MJF, and FTR versus the Briscoes.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a big problem with those. I thought they were okay. They were all pretty good.
Yeah.
Fine.
No issue.
Everything's
No
fine.
issue there.
I mean, we just
Oh, fine.
actually in this episode put all 3 of these feuds over at one point. So
We did. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I don't have a problem with it.
best
That's
box
fine.
office draw for pro wrestling: CM Punk at number 3, John Cena at
Okay.
number 2, and Roman Reigns at number 1. I mean, no
that's
argument
probably
here.
just numbers. Yeah, I mean that's probably just
Yeah,
facts.
I
and
mean,
numbers there.
how rickety do you think the doors are
Oh, for
for the
fuck's sake with
doors
the rickety
to
doors.
John Cena and Roman Reigns? Do you think
Okay.
they're as rickety as the doors that lead to CM Punk?
Okay, listen. So this
No.
is where
Do you think I could kick in the door?
No, I
I
don't think
kicked
you could.
in the door in a violent
Hey,
manner.
folks,
My
you all saw him
toothless
standing, all
dog
right, behind
ran
his
to
desk.
me.
All right. You saw him standing behind his desk today. Leave down in the comments if you think Derek could kick in a door with those short, tiny little legs that he's got.
It's a fucking rickety door.
You know what I'm saying? Like, unbelievable. All right.
Unbelievable.
Tom.
What's the
I'm-
next
I'm-
one?
my
I'm
only
trying.
friend.
I'm not trying to read all of them. Like,
You
okay,
get
here
to
we go. Worst
It
television
doesn't
show.
seem that. Are you about
Number
fucking
3.
done?
Eric, shush.
Number 3, NWA Power. Number 2,
Okay.
WWE NXT. And number 1, WWE Raw.
Nope. How is Rampage not on that list? It's terrible.
Because it's in the top 3 of best
Oh, right.
weekly
It's
television
the best
shows.
one. All right. It's one of the best. Okay. I mean,
All right,
I guess there's only,
here we go. This is where the fun starts. Worst promotion of the year. Number
this
3,
is the one.
Control Your Narrative. Number 2, NWA. And number 1, World Wrestling Entertainment worldwide since 1984.
So I don't have a problem with the first two, but fucking, you're gonna tell me the Control Your Narrative is better than WWE? Like they had better shows than WWE did,
Right? Like the fact that WWE is even on the same list as Control Your Narrative. All right. I mean, one of the founding members is on WWE's payroll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But
So
he-
let's just calm down.
It's not even. It's ridiculous. He was on WWE's payroll in 2022. Like Control Your Narrative didn't even last the whole year,
No, they were like
let
2 and
alone
done.
let alone 40 years, right? Like it's ridiculous. Like that's the most ridiculous one of all of these. Like that's the most laughable. Putting like, oh, WWE is the worst promotion. What? Like there's promotions on that list that are a step up from backyard wrestling. WWE is the worst promotion. It's ridiculous.
Moving on, we've got Promoter of the Year. Number 3 is Rossi Agawa. Number 2 is Dana White. Number 1 is Tony Khan. We don't need to dwell on
All right,
that.
number 3. Tell me who Yoshi Agawa is.
I'm assuming that's one of the promoters for New Japan or All Japan, something
thank
like
you.
that.
That's exactly what it takes to tell you that he is not.
A promoter of the year, because should I not know who the fuck this is? Tom, do you know who this is? Would you not agree with me that we should
Well,
know
no, I agree.
100% who this promoter
Buddy, none
is?
of these guys
Okay.
were promoters of the year.
Well, here we go. Here's what's awesome. Are you ready? We've
Yes.
got Best Booker. Number 3, Paul Levesque.
Ooh.
Number 2, Rossi Agawa. And number 1, Tony Khan.
Oh.
I hate to
What
tell you
book?
guys, I also go by the name of Aussie Agawa.
So what?
It's me.
What
It's
booking,
me, Austin. It was me all along.
What booking does Tony Khan do? Like, that's what he writes matches down, and they're cold almost every week. Like, is that booking? I just can't. I don't get.
Yeah.
No, he's writing a sports schedule. That's what he does. Okay, he writes a sports schedule. You know how like whenever you're, coaching the under-8 soccer team and you got to have the coaches meeting and you all sit down and you write the schedule together. And it's like, hey, this day works for me. Hey, this day works for me. Oh, let's do this 7:00, right? That's exactly what Tony Khan does to book AEW television. He just sits down and he's like, hey, you're going to be here today. So are you. That'll be fun. Wrestling fans would love that. Hey, Chris Jericho, I need you to put over this fucking chooch from fucking nowhere, New York. Done.
Yeah, I don't have Chris coming up. It's fine.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he writes a schedule. That's all he does.
That's all it is. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. It's not booking. He's like the scheduling manager.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He writes a
there's
schedule.
not
He writes a
booking,
work
it's
schedule.
schedule.
That's what he does.
That's all he does. You're right.
He writes a work schedule.
And then he says, Jericho, figure this
there's no
out. You got 8
creative.
guys.
There's no
Be creative
creative.
with this.
There's no booking.
Moxley, do your thing.
It's a work
Moxley
schedule.
is like, I'll
Yeah.
blade, brother. He's like,
writing a
fuck
work
yeah,
schedule.
that sounds good. Yeah, that's where we're at.
And then he gets drunk.
It's a
Jeff Hardy
shitty
come up
booking
to him and
situation.
he's like, hey, bud, I'm going to
No,
jump off
fuck
of this
that. No.
752-foot ladder.
How do you
Cool,
guys
man.
feel about that?
We already talked
Seriously,
about
how do
it.
you guys feel?
We already talked about it.
Seriously,
should've been
no.
here.
All
No,
right.
we already talked
Well,
about
let me
it.
tell you how I
You
feel
weren't
without
here.
hearing all you guys feel. I don't think he should come back, to be honest with you.
Nah, he's gonna.
I think
I
it's
think
a bunch
Jeff
of
Hardy on
bullshit.
TV is good for
I
TA.
think
He's
it's
gone.
fucking we're good.
We debated
Alright.
this and we decided he's coming.
It's happening
Really?
whether you want it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
All right, I love
happening
you,
whether
fellas,
you want it
but
or
no.
not.
No.
100%
right.
happening.
I mean, I feel
Hit
like
the button, Walt. Hit the
It-
fucking
it's-
button.
it's just a lot, man. Like, I don't.
Wasn't there they did like the best wrestlers and all those.
Yeah, yeah.
Were there any women nominated for? Did any women win any awards? I think
Yeah, they
that-
won. Hold on. Women's Wrestling MVP. Jamie Hayter, Bianca Belair, and Sayuri.
Who?
Who?
I don't know.
I mean, I think Jamie Hayter had a good year.
Yeah.
I think she absolutely carried the women's division better than anybody has.
But did I think
maybe
she
aside
needs
from
an
Britt
award
Baker
for the best, Tom?
Yeah, well, look, I think that Jamie Hayter was given absolutely nothing in a terrible division to work with, and has really done better than most could. And so I think that recognizing her, the quality of what she did in 2022, I think that's good, because she really didn't have anything to work with, whereas like Bianca Belair had everybody to work with, and her, I don't know that I agree with her being only her 2022 was a little boring.
Though I really think that Jamie Hayter had everybody to work with. Not to say that she had phenomenal talent to work with.
That's what
but
I mean. She
had
has no good
rough-
talent to work with
Well,
because
then
there's
you
no
shouldn't-
good talent. They have no good talent like that. She had no good talent to work with and still managed to put on good matches like week in and week out. Any other women's?
So outside of no, I'm glad you guys carried that. So outside of the women's MVP, and Ronda Rousey being at the top of the most overrated list, this Sayuri or whatever ended up on the Japanese MVP list. But those are the only women in non-women specific categories that were in top threes.
That's kind of disappointing. Are there any other women specific categories?
No, there's just the women's MVP.
Huh. Well, I think that's kind of wrong, but I mean, I guess none of the women had particularly standout years.
Yeah, but this is an underlying issue with Dave though too, right?
Yeah, it really is. You're right.
He gets on the tweet box and he talks about Charlotte Flair's body like she's a fucking man that he's judging, and like, hey bud, you can't really do that. That's not cool.
No, and just the way he does it is
it's
not
snarky
cool.
as fuck, bro.
It's not a matter of like, oh, she looks lean, she looks this, it's not it's more of a like, oh, looks like Charlotte had some cosmetic surgery done. Like, are you kidding me?
I mean,
Like
Derek comes in here and says that shit too, bud. Like, I mean,
but that's but Derek's not Derek's not the guy that hands out the star ratings. You know what I mean? It's just not it's just not the way. And yeah, he really has a problem, like just one recognizing women's wrestling, and I think a lot of guys his age do, to where like you and I, where we kind of grew up with it. To us, it's just wrestling, right?
Yeah,
and it's nice for us to like staring at these guys jumping around in their underpants for however long. It's nice when like the women come out and you're like, oh, thank God, a little break for my eyeballs here,
right?
And so, but I don't think Dave sees it that way.
Sexualizing the women.
It's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that, like, we grew
Jesus
up with
Christ.
women's wrestling, and we see it as just part of the show, and as like a necessary thing that we look forward to. Like,
Yeah,
I put Bailey over every week when I'm like, oh yeah, Bailey's coming out. I'm gonna be excited for that because
yeah,
it's gonna
but
be a
don't
fun
tell me
thing.
you're not looking at that fucking just plump.
I didn't say anything.
Fucking,
Hey, I didn't say anything. I didn't say it.
I did.
I know.
So it's
I'm
okay.
just saying I didn't say it. That's
Yeah, I
disgusting.
did. It's okay.
That's disgusting,
All right.
Walt.
I said it. Okay. But I can also appreciate her as a performer and an athlete.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with walking on both sides of that fence. I can enjoy the fact that she's phenomenal at her job, but I'm not disappointed watching her either, bud.
No, and that's that. I think that ticks the boxes of why women's wrestling is important, right?
Yes.
One, it breaks up the show nicely. I really think that I think that a show without women on it, and this is I'm very much against, not to go randomly off topic, but I'm very much against like having only women's show and an only men's show. Like, there's been a little bit of discussion about that. And I think that it's a better product when everybody's together, and I think that it breaks up the show better and helps the flow.
It's more complete
Because you sort of get different aspects of what's going on.
As long as Tom's happy, that's what I'm worried about, fellas.
That's true. It's everybody needs to just make me
Apparently,
happy.
Tom's happiness is my priority.
It should be.
And
true. Absolutely. All right, guys, ready to take it home?
Yeah,
I've been waiting for hours.
You haven't even been here for hours. You haven't even been here an hour. Been waiting for hours, he says.
For hours. So,
All right,
hour.
Tom,
so my match of the week this
to
week.
That's good.
This
this week.
Match of the week is going to be actually from Raw this evening because I enjoyed it whilst we were chatting, and it made me distracted a few times, and I really liked the finish. And I liked what it led into afterwards. And I'm glad that he keeps getting this spot. Is Chad Gable versus Cody Rhodes, which happened tonight. And I'm going to tell you two reasons why. One, the finish I thought was very good because one, Chad Gable's great and Cody's very good. The finish was great with did a real super cool Cody cutter that Chad took awesome and then hit him with the crossroads, pinned him. But before that, Cody was outside of the ring hanging out with Otis, talking to Otis about some male modeling. And then they jumped right into the next segment with Maximum Male Models right after that while they approached Otis. Massey puts his leg up on the door. It was not a rickety door, Derek. And it's just funny. Maximum Male Models, funny. Cody Rhodes, Chad Gable, good at wrestling. Otis, love him. It encompassed everything, plus the good wrestling, and that's why you need to watch Raw because it's a good show. And they put all that stuff together. And do. I'm also going to say honorable mention to the to Jimmy Uso and Solo versus the Street Profits because that was a fun little match to open the show too.
Nice. Derek.
Derek, did you watch it this week?
Earth to Derek.
I haven't watched the goddamn thing for a week, but I'll tell you what. Here's what I like: Elimination Chamber, men's Elimination Chamber match.
It was like
as far
3
as
weeks ago.
I love the women's Elimination Chamber match, and we spoke about that. This is all I got, man. This is the most recent. Do you want me to talk about what I'm watching right now? Because I will. Raw is looking good right now with the Miz out here and Seth Rollins. Oh,
Rollins has his fuzzy glasses on too, which is pretty. I don't know. Rollins is
Elimination
great.
Chamber match was good shit, and
I
to
think-
see Montez Ford actually come out and kind of make something of himself, from his partner. I don't know what's going on with my sinuses, but yeah, he did a great job as far as that goes. I believe him as an individual superstar. What, Walt? What?
Tommy doesn't know what he's doing with his sinuses. It sounds like he's been hanging out with
I
Tony.
don't know what I'm doing with my hands. With my hands.
Mhm.
The car was
This-
good.
A
Oh,
little bit of snow,
The
blood on the snow there.
do this sticker is dangerous and inappropriate, but I do love Fig Newtons.
Listen. No bullshit. I don't know. There's a beat up rickety old door that is a little Toyota truck
I've got a
It has a-
rickety old door right there.
that has a giant Fig Newton sticker on the windshield. I haven't seen it in a couple of weeks, so I'm wondering if he got pulled over. But there's a giant Fig Newton sticker on his windshield, and it is the greatest thing ever. Next time I see it, I'll take a picture of it.
Unless some cop already made him take it off.
Yeah,
which
unless
would
some
be
cop
sad.
already made him take it
Oh,
off.
fuck them pigs.
Can't say that, bud.
Yeah, you can.
Walt, what was your match of the week?
So my match of the week was a cold match on WWE SmackDown. Kofi Kingston and LA Knight.
That was a fun little.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Fun
wasn't
little-
that cold because they had a little. They had a little promo battle beforehand, but it was.
Right.
You're
but,
right. It was.
I mean,
cold.
outside of that, it was cold. It was
Yeah.
definitely Triple H wrote two names on the work schedule there.
Yes, that was a work. You're right. That was a work schedule match.
That was a work schedule match. So, but I mean, it was fun. Nice to get to see Kofi mix it up a little bit and do a little singles run, and kind of try to
Actually
keep
win a
LA
match.
Knight kind of relevant, I guess.
It was nice to
Considering
see Cody actually win a match, or Kofi actually win a match.
Yeah, it was good. Also, honorable mention goes to the 6-man tag with Imperium versus Ricochet, Braun Strowman, and Madcap Moss. Man, how good is Imperium, dude?
I mean, so it's
How
hard
good
not
is
to
Madcap
put them
Moss?
every week as the best match because it generally is. And I think I was thinking about this beforehand, and I was like, I can't pick another Imperium match. And this one wasn't just Gunther, and not that I have a problem with the other guys in Imperium, but
No, they are such a sound tag team. Like they could have a great tag team title run.
I like their dynamic too, where it's like the ring is sacred, and it's just the whole thing is like, you know, they don't have everybody doing that gimmick, but it's just it works for them, and it works so well every time.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. We'll see what happens here. We got the AEW video game coming out here sometime this year, I would assume. I don't know, Derek.
How did Gunther not make it on one of these lists as like the top wrestler?
Because Meltzer-Mania doesn't watch WWE, pal.
I mean, that's
You're not allowed to slap hard, Tom.
I mean, that to me is that's we didn't talk about that. That's probably the biggest tragedy.
A little slap. Not boom.
I would love to see him give you a little slap.
He's got a TikTok. Gunther has a TikTok. I saw it today.
I was about to say I've got a TikTok.
He's standing. he's standing there, and he's got the Intercontinental belt. It's a shot of his back. He's got the belt over his left shoulder. Right. Some guy walks up to him, taps him on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey man, what do you do for a living?" And he just chops the camera.
His whole TikTok should just be him slapping people, like giving him that big chop. That should just be his whole TikTok.
Like they do that shit. They do that shit in Japan, in New Japan, whenever like they take the high rollers take the wrestlers out, and they get all drunk on sake, and they just beat the fuck out of their sponsors. Yeah. So, all right, bub. Well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. Get on out of here.
We did a solid 90 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. So check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_FallWC. That's ONE. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. We would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're still here, please hit that thumbs up button. That really, really, really helps us. We appreciate the uptick in the audience. Thank you very much. We notice it. We see it. Leave some comments. Interact with us while you're here. We would greatly appreciate that as well. Yeah.
We'll talk to you.
Yeah,
clearly.
For sure.
I might
not.
I'll try.
Oh, God. Okay, maybe Tom and I will talk to you. Maybe not Derek.
For sure.
So, with all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast. What is that angry little elf middle finger for?
Fall.